Understanding how to loop in Cubase can be a major time saver. Let's go over various looping techniques. Load up project number 16, looping. Let's do the hardest and most basic way of looping. At this point, let's not be too concerned about tempo. We know this loop is 110 beats per minute, so I've set the tempo at 110 beats per minute. Look at the left and right locator in the transport panel. Their numbers are positioned at bars 7 and 8, but we want to loop the audio file that is from bars 1 to 4. Click on the left locator and enter 1. If you're a long-time Cubase user, you might be clicking on the left locator and wondering, why the heck isn't this working? Well, on new versions, you should be double-clicking instead. Kind of annoying, but it's worth the trade-off. If you have a wheel on your mouse, just hover over the number and turn the wheel. You'll find this new feature works almost everywhere in Cubase where number entry is concerned. Click on the right locator and enter 5. Actually, double-click on the right locator and enter 5. The end of bar 4 is actually the beginning of bar 5. That's why we set it to 5. Rewind to bar 1 by pressing this button here and then press Start. There's another way to get the left and right locator where you want them. If you hold down Control on the PC and Alt on the Mac and then click in the ruler, you will move the left locator. If you hold down the Alt on the PC or Command on the Mac and click in the ruler, you will move the right locator. Let's loop bars 2 to 4 this way. It's easier if you click in the lower part of the ruler. If you see a red loop region instead of a blue one, that's okay. We'll show you what the red means in a second. Let's make this even easier. Click on an audio event and press the letter P on your keyboard. This automatically sets the left and right locators to the selection. And the easiest way to loop is to make a selection and then press Shift-G. This sets the locators to your selection, turns on the cycle button for you, and begins playing at the left locator. How could that be any easier? Okay, now for the hard part. The tempo of the first drum beat happens to be 110 BPM. I'm sure that this other audio file is not this tempo. How can we solve this? First of all, Shift-G on the other drum beat. Next, go to the Project menu and choose Beat Calculator. Listen to your drum beat a few times and count how many beats there are. Now enter the number in. That's our tempo there. Depending on where your audio file is, at the beginning of the project or somewhere in the middle, choose one of the buttons below. Close the beat calculator and Shift-G the audio file again. This resets the locators. Turn on the click, and there it is, perfectly in time with Cubase. You now know how to loop. You can also create a skip loop if you just reverse the markers. That's that red section we were talking about before. Move the left marker past the right marker, and now play it, and watch it skip the part that you've selected. If you want to learn about audio changing tempo, see the chapter on Audio Warp in Level 3 of this tutorial series. Now move on to the next couple of chapters and learn how to loop record.